Hey, so I have been here 5 hours with my mother in the emergency room. So far, the only thing that has happened is they have taken her back for her vitals, brought us back out here to the emergency room, which is not just the emergency room. We are actually on the opposite side of the hospital. This is not normal. Who sits in an emergency room for 5 hours waiting just to see a doctor? We have not been seen by a doctor. We have not been called to the back. It is an overload of people down here. Since the pandemic, they just this is crazy. This is crazy. This is not just the emergency room. You can see these are people that we're just all sitting out here. We're in I think this is the Feinberg building. This is the Feinberg building. We can't even sit in the emergency room because there's no space in the emergency room. So we're spread it out throughout the hospital, and then you have to try and listen for your name to be called. Because if you miss your name, you miss your place to even go to the back to be seen by the doctor. So this is just ridiculous. Who? They're calling the name now. So they just called a name, which they haven't called a name in a while. Hi, Betty. So, of course, again, we're over here in Northwestern. We've been here for about 5 hours now, just sitting and waiting. Just sitting. They come out every now and then, call a name, you know. They come out every now and then bring a person in. Most times they come out, they need to check a person's vitals. So that's just triage. They're bringing they're bringing the blood pressure machine out here in the waiting area where we are sitting, telling people, oh no, don't get up. I can check your blood pressure right here and do your vitals right here. So that's called triage. So they're coming out here to the emergency room to do the triage. We are piled in here. This is worse than what the county used to look like when I was a kid. And you used to have to go to the county and sit in there for hours and waiting to see a doctor. That's what this reminds me of when I used to go to the county as a kid with my mom, and you'd be sitting there for hours. This is just ridiculous. And this is not the only hospital that this is happening at. This is happening at all the hospitals in Chicago. As you go into the emergency room, you're there for hours just to be seen. I'm here with my mom. She's been in this wheelchair for 5 hours, sitting here. How comfortable do you think this is for her to sit in this wheelchair for 5 hours while she's trying to, while she has to be wait to be seen by a doctor? It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Something needs to be done. I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to do, but I can tell you this. This is really unwarranted. People going to the emergency room should not have to sit in an emergency room for 5 hours and still not see a doctor. This is totally ridiculous. And for a senior to have to go through this, totally ridiculous. It's ridiculous for anyone to have to go through it. But it's worse when a senior has to go through this to be seen. I just thank God that I'm able to be here with my mother, because there are lots of people that you see in this emergency room that has no one here with them. Some people have people here with them. Some have no one here with them. And they just roll them on out here in the wheelchair and leave them sitting here. And of course, they're not going to hear their name because they're asleep, like my mother. If I wasn't here and they called my mother's name, she wouldn't know anything. She'd be sitting in this chair asleep till tomorrow morning, and they would treat her just like a homeless person. She'd just be sitting here. By the time she wake up and realize she's been here for hours and she starts questioning them, they'll talk to her like she's out of her mind because she's been here asleep. Because this is where they would leave you, just sitting here. Just sitting here. This is so sad. This is so sad. You know, I'm just so disappointed in our healthcare system. I'm so disappointed in our healthcare system. What they do to us with our healthcare system is ridiculous. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been on the end of the spectrum when you were receiving public aid. I got better health care when I was on public aid than I do now with working, and they're taking all this darn money out of my paycheck to pay for medical. And this is what happens. My mother is a retiree of the city of Chicago. There's no need for her to have to sit in his place in Northwestern as if she's sitting in the county for hours waiting for free health care. Because none of this is free. None of this is free. This is all paid for. So none of this is free. She's getting nothing free. But they're treating her like she's a free recipient. They're treating everyone down here like so. Everyone. Just sitting. 5 freaking hours. Sad. Sad. And Governor Pritzker around here talking about he's praising this and praising that. Listen, until you come sit in the emergency room and you're sitting here as we are, as people, not as Governor Pritzker, and they're going to take you in the back and handle you, you sit here like the rest of us. Then you'll understand what it's really like to have to pay for your medical care and not be seen, and sit here and wait and wait and wait for hours. Like I said, we have not even seen a doctor yet, let alone just the fact that we've been here for 5 hours. We have not seen a doctor yet. No doctor has seen my mother. 5 hours in the emergency room. All they did was triage and then came back out to try to take some blood. But they couldn't get the blood because their veins are small and they roll. So therefore, they couldn't get the blood. So yeah, we're sitting in the emergency room, we're just waiting. No doctor has seen her. They have not called her in the back to go into a room to be seen by a doctor as of yet. Sitting here for 5 hours with masks on. My mother has not eaten. I cannot feed her because we don't know what kind of test they're going to do once they finally get her back there. You know how they are at the hospital. They want you to not eat because once you eat, you know, they tell you there are tests that they can't do because you have eaten. So yes, now my mother is sitting here hungry. Hungry. You darn right, cuz this is some bull. The biggest crock of bull I've ever seen in my life. My mother has to sit here hungry, sleeping in the wheelchair for 5 hours. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. This is sad. In the state of Illinois where you pay all this money for insurance. And she's a retiree. She's not getting this for free. She's a retiree, and she still has to pay for her insurance. She's a retiree from the city of Chicago as a civilian, and they have taken away the insurance from the civilians. December 31st, 2016 was the last day. So every retiree as a civilian has to now find their own insurance and pay out of pocket. Big money. Big money. After you spend your lifetime as a career working for the city of Chicago. Working for the city of Chicago. And the city of Chicago wonders why they're losing people. Why do you lose people? Why do people want to move to the suburbs? Why do people want to move out of the state of Illinois? The state of Illinois is one of the worst states just one of the worst states to live in. It's crap. Our education is crap. Education is horrible. They started this new thing with something about your grade point average from high school, and you can go to the city of Chicago colleges on a scholarship or for free for those 2 years. What good does it do your students when you go to college to get an education, and then after you finish your education, what do you have? You don't have a job. You go and you try and get a job. People won't hire you. Why? Because you have no experience. Mm-hmm. You turn around, it's just like we got these PPP loans. People that have small businesses, black businesses, guess what? I know we didn't get the PPP loans because there were so many people out here that were lying and got the money. So there was no money for real people out here that have actual businesses. People that have actual businesses were not able to get those loans. Me being one of those people. But I also have clients that have called me to see
And
what
what does
can
that
I
come
get
from?
done.
City Hall?
What can I get done because I got these loans and they want their money. Shouldn't have lied and said you had a business if you didn't have a business. So now you got to pay the piper. Once again, our state of Illinois put all their faith and the trust in the wrong hands. They put the faith and the trust in the wrong hands. They believe in the people that didn't even have the businesses, that should have qualified but didn't. But you gave the money to the people that didn't have a business. You take our health care and you just demolished our health care. And here we are, people like myself and my mom, sitting in the emergency room for 5 hours, have not been seen by a doctor as of yet. And my mother is a retiree from the city of Chicago. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sad, sad day in America. And we have nothing to show for this. We have nothing as a people to show for this. Nothing but to get out here and rally. Then we have our children that are consistently being killed. They're not saying nothing, cousin. I just told you. We've been waiting for 5 hours. They're not calling us back there. They're not saying anything. She has not seen a doctor. She has not seen a doctor as of yet. She has not seen a doctor. We're just sitting here waiting to be called as usual. The only thing I could do is just try and keep her comfortable. That's all. Just trying to keep her comfortable in a wheelchair like this for 5 hours. 5 whole hours. So yes, I am quite angry. I am quite angry. I am venting. Yes. Quite angry. I'm upset. Upset with the system that we actually live in. They're calling someone's name, but it still isn't ours after 5 hours. Hi, Kim. What'd you say, Mom?
Call the name once an hour. And
yeah, it does seem like it's once an hour.
Spend 15 minutes with it. So what is the heck of the
No, cousin, thank you. It's nothing you can do, baby. It's nothing you can do. I'm just incredibly overwhelmed right now. See, this is what they're doing. Let me show y'all. You come out here with the machine. They're going to do the vitals right there. They don't even bother to take you to the back to do the vitals. They bring the machine out here in the waiting area and do your blood pressure out here in the waiting area. Yep, told y'all. And this is Northwestern. They're bringing the machine. That's the blood pressure machine. They coming out here to do that person's blood pressure. You know, you used to be taken in the back to do your vitals for triage. Nope. They're walking out here with the machine. Oh, don't get up. We're going to come to you with the machine. Had a lady sitting next to me earlier. They were coming out here to take her, the person she brought out here with her, came to take her vitals. And the lady that was taking the vitals kept trying to take her vitals. Get your ass out of bed! You got... That was my alarm. The lady that was sitting next to me was telling the nurse what the lady's vitals were before they left home. So the nurse kept saying to her, no, I don't need them. I'm only doing what the nurse told me to do. The nurse told me to come out here and take her vitals. Okay. Now, of course, when you take an elderly person's vitals before you leave the house, the blood pressure, you know you want to take the blood pressure because you want to let the doctor know when you get here what the blood pressure was, because it can change. It can go up, it can go down. So a lot of times you want to make sure that you take the blood pressure. So yeah, that may have been the wrong person to tell that to, but her response still shouldn't have been, I'm just out here to do what the nurse told me to do. The nurse just told me to come and take her vitals. I feel like she should have told her that, you know, to let her know to save your vitals and make sure that you let the doctor know, so that if there's any change, the doctor would know that there was a change and they can look at why this change has happened, whether it's a good change or a bad change, whether her blood pressure shot up or went down. But her attitude was, I just came out here to take her vitals because the nurse told me to do it. What? They don't even, they don't have any kind of compassion with these people here in this emergency room. Where's the freaking compassion? There's no compassion. You sit down here for hours and then you just get spoken to as if you're cattle. You know, it's sad. And they got them running around here in circles. In circles. Calling names, come out, do the vitals. No one's coming out to get anybody to go to back. I'm just really pissed. I really am. So yeah, I am going through a rant. I am venting. Yeah, I am. I'm totally venting. This is really sad. Really sad. So I'll be here for the duration. Don't know how long this is gonna take. Don't know how much time this is gonna be. It does not matter. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna be right here with my mama. But I'm gonna get off of here for now. Just letting you all know that this is sad. I don't, this is not the only hospital that this is happening at. This is happening at other hospitals. People just don't speak out about it. People just, some people just don't know what to say. People like me, just outspoken and just need to be heard. To let other people know you're not in this alone. You're not the only one that has experienced this, because this is an experience that not only myself but others have experienced. But of course, you wouldn't know that because people don't speak out about it. People don't speak out about it. So until later, I'm out. Toodles, everybody. Have a good night and God bless.